up? It's popping. Hey, what's good? Would like to welcome everybody to episode 24 of Chop 15 for Jay Walker. I would like to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. I hope everybody's having a good evening. My guest this evening is somebody I've known for a very, very long time. Approaching like 20 years. She's like a sister, looked out for me when I was a young buck and didn't know shit. And she always had my back. Family, man, like I'm still friends and folks with her son. So Amber, my sis, let's start this interview.
What's
Hi.
up?
How you doing?
I'm great. I'm blessed. Just loving life right now.
So good to see you.
It's so good to see you and to chat with you. I'm so honored. I'm so excited.
Man, I mean, there's no way I couldn't have you. We go back way too far. So
I know, right? I mean, when I hear that song, I'm like, oh my God, I sound like such a kid.
I had to pull that out. I was like, okay, we've done music together. I was like, let me go find that old song and pull that out. So
yes, that was a banger. That was a banger for real. That was one. It's crazy because, like, man, the same shit is still going on right now. So it's like,
exactly,
it hasn't changed except the cast of characters. That's all. So I hope people understand that. Like, if they get anything from that conversation, it's the roles have just changed hands. We're still in the same mix of things. So, and we're here talking about.
Yeah, that's the sad part about it is. That's the sad part about it is everything is like, it's nothing, not much is, things have changed, but we're still dealing with the same shit, even though things have changed, so.
Right. Yeah, they've changed. Like, it's weird because I was looking back on, I was actually trying to find that piece that I had wrote for that song. Because I have this box actually sitting in front of me full of all the poems and stuff that I've wrote over the years. And so I was going through it. I was like, man, there are hella stuff that I wrote like in like 2000 that really pertains to right now. Like, things have not changed. The only thing that has changed is our attachment to capitalism, is our attachment to the material things that they've used to further oppress us, So it's like right now, I think it's a time for people to really kind of sit back and think about the things that they're willing to sacrifice to make this movement move forward, because it's going to come down to having to cut ties with some of our boyfriends. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're going to have to cut ties with Walmart and cut ties with Amazon and cut ties with Home Depot. And, I can go down the list of companies we really need to not give our money to right now so that we can keep the movement going. And that's really where it's at. It's about funding. Because in the past, like, when you think of when I was talking to my dad about the civil rights movement, and his whole thing was that, they went out and marched and everything, but the thing that kept the movement from moving forward was the funding. Like, there was no money to really back it, so and then also just like it also, we have to be careful of like the covertness of them infiltrating the movement. They're going to do whatever it takes to keep us divided. So that's the other thing we really have.
We've seen it already with, you have these instigators and infiltrators all around the country. You've seen it with, they just mysteriously, there's a pile of bricks in the middle of nowhere. Like, there were no bricks there a minute ago, but all of a sudden there's bricks now. And there's people going to grab these bricks, and most of them aren't black. They're like white people, and you're like, wait a minute, why are you doing this? And I've seen so many videos of people, like black people, like, hey, don't do that. Don't spray paint on that. Don't break that window. And they're like, oh, we're trying to help. Like, that's not help.
Yeah.
That's not help. Because they're going to blame us for that shit. So that is not help.
Exactly. So it's real interesting just seeing how all of that's like kind of playing out. You know what I'm saying? It's like how I see it, it's like, okay, well, who are these white people that are doing this? And they say it's Antifa and they say it's this group or that group, but it's like really where are their intentions coming from? Because I understand like the anarchist movement. I do understand that, and I know they understand this movement that we're going through. So it's like, where's the solidarity between the groups? So that's the first part that kind of disturbed me because I actually went to the first one of the first protests here in Sacramento, but the lack of organization really scared me, you know, and because I could foresee how things were going to go, you know. And then as soon as fucking Trump put out, oh, sorry for the expletive, but as soon as Trump
it's okay, no, we real on here, dude.
okay, since Trump sent his dogs out on everyone, it was like, oh my God, what are we? This is about to get ugly, you know. And the other thing I want people to keep in mind too, it's like it's love. This is lovely that they're getting rid of all the you know, the Confederate statues and whatever, but it's like that doesn't change anything. So
no,
I mean, I hate to be on the like more radical side, but it's like really like we got to keep our eye on the prize. Like we can't let them okey doke us with, okay, they just took down Sutter's statue, by the way, today. I don't know if you've been in the midst of that. Yeah.
Oh, Sutter's Fort.
Yeah.
Sutter's Fort, really?
Fort,
wow.
Sutter's
hey, I learned about that shit in college, man. And that dude has his name all around Sacramento. And he is one of the most shady characters you'll ever learn about in history of the United States. That was a shady ass dude. And they have a bunch of shit named after Suttersville, the hospital, the fort. Like, it's just way too much. Why do the shadiest, most fucked up characters and losers get immortalized? I don't understand it.
Why do they get to claim the space, which never been their space to begin with? So, you know, so we got to get back to the reality of it all. We have to really get back into like the roots of it all, you know, and that's even our own like internal ancestral fucking stuff that you're dealing with, because we can't fight the fight if our fight up here ain't right. So we got to really focus. Like for real, like right now is the time we got to focus on ourselves. Like I really believe in the idea of mind, body, and spirit is the Trinity, you know? So it's like, if we're going to acquiesce to win something that's way bigger than us, we have to be bigger than us. You know what I'm saying? So I just hope people really jump on board with, you know, I shouldn't even say jump on board. I kind of feel like it's more of like we're kind of moving into this weird energy shift of things. I know, I see what people are saying. I know that there's a lot of people that are changing their dialogue and, you know, really trying to, really trying to better themselves, you know, as far as like where their role plays in like adding to the problem of being racist or whatever. But I honestly feel that's all conditioning as it is too. So it's like once you work on yourself, then all those conditionings, like they melt away. You know what I'm saying? There's no other way than to focus on this in order to shine your light out that way. So I just hope we get on board with that. I really do. I really do. And it's sad too, because like even within like the Black community, we have our own, you know, there's our own isms in there and stigmas, like with skin color and this, that, and the other. So it's like, you know, how can we really, really heal on a global level if we aren't healing ourselves first and addressing those issues and what have you? So that's my take on
and all of those things that you're saying, like how we have these stigmas amongst ourselves. That's stuff that we were taught by white people when we got here. Like there was no stigma. Like I don't know, maybe I could be wrong, but I don't know of any stigma before we got here to where Black folks looked at other Black folks like, oh, you're lighter, you're darker, you're bad, you're not this, you're not that. That was what we were like trained and taught. That's the field nigga, house nigga shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
dude, yes, exactly. Yeah, and you know, I was talking to Luna too. I'm like, man, this stuff stemmed like way back. Like, if you it's the whole idea of colonialism. You know, if it wasn't for the colonizer's mind, we would not be oppressed and enslaved. You know, and they started way how thousand many years can we go back? Because that's how long it happened. Like it happened way back, you know, and we all know the origins of humanity and where we all come from, Mother Africa. And I'm not even a pro Black person, but that's the origin. I mean, if you know you should, those are facts. You know what I'm saying? I mean, just look it up. So, you know, and I just feel like, you know, there's, you know, these folks that came and they saw how glorious all these brown people are doing their thing and happy and, you know, highly spiritual and, you know, they're in tuned and whatever. And they're like, oh, I want that. We don't like that. We gonna take that, you know, and that's where it all starts. You know, and they strip because we are, you know, being a kind people. Like, I mean, if you think about it, here are foreign people that come into this foreign land and those people had to be accepting. They were warriors, you know what I'm saying? They had the means to fight them. They didn't. Why didn't they fight them? Because their hearts were in a different way. You know what I'm saying? Like our hearts were giving and, you know, real and moral, you know, whereas these colonizers come in and they just, you know, nope, that's not the way. You're going to do it our way. And that's the way we've been doing it for so long. So now it's time to do it our way. You know, it's like we all need to take back what belongs to us. And that's our freedom. That's our sovereignty. You know, the land belongs to the natives. It belongs to the earth. But our freedom belongs to us. You know what I'm saying? And we deserve to have that in our lifetime and in the lifetimes to follow. So, and now's the time, you know, it's just time. It's just really time to push forward into that direction of, you know, let's get her done. Let's get her done and get her out for real. I'm done with this.
See, that's one of the reasons why I wanted to have you on here, is because I've always, ever since you met me and I was like fucking like 22, you know, like you always had a perspective to like, could always like put me straight. You know what I'm saying? Like no matter what it was, like I could be going through the dumbest shit and you could always be like, hey little bro, look at it like this. And I'm like,
thank you.
You're right. You're right. So it was, you know, I had to get you on here, especially once things started happening. I knew that our conversation was gonna be, you know what I'm saying, on some, you know, on some real shit.
It's hard not to talk about, you know, it's hard. I mean, really, I kind of feel like if it doesn't come up in your conversation with someone, then you ain't being real, you know, because these are the signs of the times. And it's something that needs to be discussed. And the more we discuss it, the more we can change it. You know, the more we discuss it, like everyone has different avenues of where they get their information too. So the more we share what we know, the more we share, the more we enlighten the next person. And so the only way we're going to get through this darkness is through enlightenment. You know, we got to enlighten each other, and it's going to be baby steps. Like this isn't going to happen overnight. How many years has this been going on? You know, it ain't gonna. It's
400 and something.
400 just here. You know what I mean? So it's like 400 years of oppression, and it's not going to happen overnight. You know, because again, like we discussed, it's within us. You know what I'm saying? Like since the moment we went to kindergarten, preschool, that's when all the, you know, the moment that you get born into this world, we are inflicted by the conditioning of the country, because our parents are conditioned, right? So they're conditioned. They parent us with their conditioned mind or their conditioned toxicity, right? And so then we go into to school at preschool, 5 years, and you know that's a very, very, very detrimental age. Like from age 2 to 6, 7 is like the most detrimental for learning for children, for emotional development and learning, like in general, like how to connect the dots. Like that's how I see it. And so when they're in preschool and stuff, kindergarten, they're automatically learning how to do spell and count, and that's not where they should be at. You know, my youngest goes to Waldorf school, and they haven't even started spelling. She knows how to read.
Really?
She's reading Harry Potter, and she's about to be in 3rd grade. You know, she knows how to write. She knows how to count and divide and stuff. but they do not focus. Like, it's not like get a piece of paper out and we're going to write, we have spelling words, we're going to have a spelling test at the end of the week. Like, they don't do none of that. And so it's fascinating to me because I had the two older ones going to regular public school, and then the younger one going to this Waldorf school, and it's a world of difference. Like, she is like beyond what they were doing. Like,
tremendous. Now, what kind of school is that? Now, what do you like?
It's a Waldorf school. It's based off of Rudolf Steiner's philosophies. Rudolf Steiner was the like, I say more of a spiritual philosopher, and his ideas are about body, mind, and spirit, basically. And they start them that age. You know, it's all about connecting your thoughts with your creations and then giving to the world. And so they immediately start that philosophy with them at this very young, as soon as they start kindergarten. They learn how to. That's awesome. Yeah, she knows how to cook. She knows how to garden. She knows how to sew. They start actually start learning instruments. Yeah, it's a very powerful. I really think that that's the direction our school should be in right now. You know, we should, if we're going to go into any direction, like, let's pull money from the police and put it into Waldorf education. That's how I feel.
There you go.
But
well, that makes sense though, because she's learning life skills. Exactly. She's learning things that she can take in life and be a successful adult. You know, like, just half the stuff we learn in school is just book stuff. We don't need that shit. It's just facts you have in your head to say, oh, I learned this, I learned that. But in the day-to-day life, you don't use 90% of the shit you learn in school.
That's true.
You don't. I learned more playing sports than I learned in school. Because of the coaches and the shit that they told you applied more to life than just, 1492, Columbus sailed the ocean blue. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't give a fuck about that. He didn't even discover shit. So, like, what does that have to do with anything?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, so, like, I'm totally with that kind of education. I think kids need to learn how to balance a checkbook. They need to learn how to take care of a car. They need, like, real shit. How to apply for a loan. Yeah. You know, like, that kind of stuff.
Yes, I totally agree. I think, like, man, and you know, there was a time when we actually were in high school and we were getting those life skills, but then all of a sudden it just switched, you know, like, they don't do driver's education no more. I'm like, what? Y'all don't get driver's education? You mean I have to teach you how to drive? Are you fucking kidding me? Good luck with that one. Good luck. Yeah, and they still don't know how to drive, so that's a goal for this summer. But yeah, man, it's like, man, what happened? So it's almost like we're almost being forced to, like, if those who know what's up, like, you are being forced to seek better for your children. And if you're not seeking better, then I kind of feel like shame on you, because we know the system's broken. We know it's messed up. They push our kids way too much, like, entirely too much. You know, oh boy, I get anxiety just thinking about it, you know, and it's ridiculous, and it sets them up for failure. You know what I mean? And that shit's over. Like, I'm sorry, it's done. We need to head into this new direction of winning. Like, and it's not even a competition thing, like winning within yourself. You know what I mean? Like, how do you know what's
making yourself better? That's a win.
Exactly. How do you know what success is if you don't set a goal for yourself and actually accomplish it, and then but you don't even, it doesn't matter what the praise is from other people. Right? It matters what you feel inside, what you accomplish. You know, you did a good job on that shit, and you fucking did that, and that's all that matters. You take that shit to the grave, and that's what matters. That's what life is about. It's not about getting all these accolades and hellos and hoo-has from other people. You know, it's really about empowering yourself, you know, because we have this one time here. This is our one shot to empower. And it's just amazing to me. I feel like it's a really beautiful thing that we're heading into. You know, it's super scary. I know a lot of people are, like, very fearful right now about this new change or whatever, but take a breath, you know, love on your loved ones, like, focus on the love, focus on what's right, because what they're feeding us is not love. That shit's fucking evil. It's destructive. It's toxic.
Right.
It has done nothing for anyone except for the elite who's making fucking who knows how much money and broken. Y'all making money. Y'all some stingy ass bastards.
1%.
Right? It's ridiculous. And now's the time. It has to stop. It has to stop. And I know people are feeling that, and we need to support each other to keep it's like that change. So whether it's fine, and I mean like in this, like we got to do some mega searching. Like this isn't a time to be in everything that you're like, this is a time that you need to research which organizations are doing what and who is putting money into that, because we have to seriously separate ourselves from the elite right now. Like seriously, if you have a Microsoft computer, throw that motherfucker out. It's done. It's done. And even Apple's up. Like it's everything. You know what I mean? So it's just at the point where we really have to decide what are we going to sacrifice, because there's going to come a point where how are we going to get the elite? We have to get them where their pockets are, right? That's the
only way to affect them. They don't care until you take away the money.
Exactly. And as soon as their money, and you can look back on history, as soon as their money starts getting played with, they start moving, right? So that's exactly what we need to do. That's it. But we need to come together all together on it. You know what I mean? And we have to be very, very, very cautious of who's pushing like these movements, because there's some covert shit going on. Like I've seen it.
Yeah, you got to pay attention.
I've read a lot of, from what I have researched, that's what I've been doing on my quarantine time, is just looking at a bunch of stuff. But, you know, since I've been doing that, it's like, yeah, there's some real covert stuff going on, man. Like some, you know, and but the thing is like, these are things we've known about. Like we've known about like Martin Luther King got shot, all the leaders that got assassinated, that was all part of it. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, everything you've always questioned, there's a reason behind that questioning. So it's like right now we got to trust our instincts, that gut feeling that tells you that's not right. You know, if you feel something's not right, do your research and double research, and then let everybody else know what the fuck's going on, you know, because not everyone has the time to do that. So it's like, it's really coming together, everyone using their talents and their talents and resources to move things forward. You know, everyone's got to come together. You know, everyone has a rich white friend. Y'all need to join in, help us out. Lawyers, fucking doctors. We're gonna need doctors here real soon. You know what I mean? Like, because once the things start trickling down, it's gonna affect everything. It's gonna affect our hospitals. It's gonna affect everything that we need. So we have to be prepared, you know. And this may happen in like 2 years, you know what I'm saying? Sooner than we think, but it's a good thing as long as we keep remembering what the outcome's going to be like. Like, man, can you just imagine? Like, I was thinking today, like, can you imagine walking out and there's no homeless people, but if you see a homeless person, like if we do have officers, like the officer's job would be to take them to the local homeless shelter, to the local home for people who don't have homes, you know, whatever we end up saying. Like, can you imagine, like, I really believe that can happen. I really strongly believe in that utopia, you know what I'm saying? And that's a hard product to push right there, because people are very comfortable with what they have, you know what I mean? So it's they're cool with
if you're a person of privilege and you ain't never had to deal with none of the shit that we've had to deal with, why the fuck would you want it to change? And and honestly, even though I'm on the other side of that, I understand why some of these fools feel that way. I get it. If my life was cool and I didn't have to worry about shit my entire life, and now there's this uprising and this could fuck with my way of life, I would be upset too. I would be like, hold on, I'm good over here. I'm good over here. I'm fine. But everybody else ain't fine. And also, they need to realize that just because everybody else wants equality doesn't mean that's gonna fuck your shit up. Unless your shit is built on me, unless your shit is built on me being down.
Right.
Now, if you build your shit on that, then yeah, it's gonna fuck up. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Because it deserves to be fucked up. Because
exactly. Exactly.
You know, man. Yeah. But you know, I was also thinking too, like, man, if gosh, well, you're just saying something, and I lost the thought, but it was a good one. It was like to the sense of making business better. Like, oh, okay. So if you just in general, if you think that just if it's morally right for people to be living on the street, then that you need to really check yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you really
or
see that
they fucked up their lives,
and you're
so
like, oh,
that's their fault.
Like, I'm cool, you know. And then also on top of that too, you have to think too. These things may not affect you now, right? But they could affect you later. And these things may not affect you directly, but they could affect someone in your family later. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, why would you even have an attitude of like, oh, fuck that, I don't fucking care, when it could happen to anyone? But see, that's that whole selfishness, like that ego, that selfishness that people are just, you know, they thrive on, you know, they can't help it because we've been conditioned that way. Because that's what we have been taught from the others. You know what I mean? They taught us to be that way. We're really not like that. We're really not like that. You know, we really, like, when you get down to the core of it, we're really not like that. That's why so many Caucasian folks are having a hard time with this whole racism thing, because they know it's not right, but they know that they have gotten, you know, have probably used that race card probably sometimes down the line. And so they just need to make that right with themselves. It's okay. We all fucking fuck up. We all make mistakes. We've all have had some kind of prejudice against somebody. I used to have a thing against Asian girls for the longest time. I do not know why, but I fucking hashed that shit out because I was like, why are you tripping on Asians? Why are you tripping on these Asian girls? You know why? Because they're cute and they're pretty, and I had a problem with myself at the time. You know what I mean? Like, I'm for real.
Yeah.
I'm for real.
Yeah.
You know, I'm being for real. Like, it's all the things, the problems. If we have a problem with something that's going on, it's usually a deflection of something that's happening in ourselves. So, exactly.
You're right.
Exactly. So that's why it's so much more important why we as a people just jump on the let's better ourselves game. And like, really, like, we need, this is a time to like focus on yourself. Like, and that doesn't mean focus on yourself and like, oh, I gotta start a new business and I gotta do this and I gotta do that and I gotta do it. That's not the focus on yourself part. Focus on yourself is that inner me, you know, the parts that are broken, the parts that can't be fixed by a business or by, you know, getting new clothes. I mean, you can fucking pretend shit is right as forever. It's not going to be right if you ain't right, and it's never going to get right. It's not going to be the right that you want, right? I mean, for real. So yeah, and I've had to learn that. Like, I had a, you know, this, I've been on like a 3-year real hardcore journey, boy, you know. And this last year, for real, like last year, I'm done. I don't want to go out too much. I'm going to stick with my tribe. You know, I hang out more with Soul and Alicia and my kids and my dad than anyone else, because I feel good with them. You know what I mean? And I know my soul needed to be around people that make me feel good, so that I can build myself back up to where I needed to be, you know. Because when you go through like a traumatic, I lost my mom 3 years ago, you know. I separated from my husband, so I was going through some real traumatic things at the time. And you know, I could go out and go to shows and go to clubs and go to bars and do this, that, and the other, but it still didn't fix what was really broken inside of me. And that really took me having to, no more. Like, I need this, I need me right now, you know. And that is, it's hard. It was rough. It was rough, but I'm able to talk about it. I survived. I'm able to share that experience with you, and you know, I really hope to share it with other people. I have a lot of things to share with people, and I think that um I think it could help people on this new journey that we're all on, you know, like for real. I think we can really
Yeah.
we can learn from each other, you know, from our pains, because and people need to pay attention to that pain because it comes from someplace real. You know what I mean? And like people think, oh, you know, I'm sick of all this racial stuff and da 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 da. Well, you know what? It's been there forever. It's time to open your eyes and see, like, why do you think we're here? We're not sick of it too? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Exactly. I was about to say that. Think about it. You're sick of it. Imagine how we feel living day to day dealing with it. You're sick of it.
yeah,
I wish I could
right,
just be sick of it. And oh,
right.
I'm sick of it. I wish I could be.
Dude, when I had to take a break from Insta and Facebook for a minute because there's so many stories coming out all the time. And then when I saw mm, Rashard, man, I was like, dude, this fucking sucks. Like, this sucks. And then, you know, there's like three, then the five hangings, and then it's like, when
Yeah.
is it going to stop, you know? And then for them to fucking act like they're suicide. Come on now. Who's going to hang themselves from a tree? I don't, that's, it hurts. That hurts.
I
That,
hate to say it. If you're gonna kill yourself, there's a million other ways to do it. But especially as a black person, besides hang
not
yourself
hanging
from a tree. Like,
from a tree. Come
who
on
does
now.
that? Who does that?
I mean, it's so blatant right now. It's disgusting. But we have to fight it with love. You know what I mean? We have to, like, no matter how angry it is, turn that anger into love, right? Like, no matter how angry you want to just like fucking strangle some whatever, you got to turn it into love. You have to turn it around. Like, the words that we use these days, we have to be super very careful about what words we're using because words have energy behind them. And you know, like the phrase I can't breathe. Oh, don't say that no more. Like, we can breathe. The earth is saying I can't breathe because it's tired of this bullshit, but we are breathing. So we need to continue
Yeah.
with the breath, right? And
Yeah.
right now is an important time to pay attention to your breath. Like when you're getting upset, man, deep breaths, you know, it really pulls you into your center. So this is it's a spiritual time. It's a real spiritual time. Like we're kind of in, we're in the middle of this war of darkness and light, and we really are, and we're seeing it, and it's amazing to me. It's an amazing time. Like, I never thought in a million years I would be witnessing this happen with my children, you know what I'm saying? Like, with my mixed race kids at that, you know, like, we're going through some stuff right now. We're going through
And
some
speaking
stuff.
of the kids and the family, like I've definitely wanted to touch on the kids and stuff. How is everything with the youngsters? How's everything with the kids?
The kids are good. Well, you know, Soul is an adult, so he's got it handled. Luna is using really being more vocal and
I've seen
using
her
her.
presence lately, and I applaud it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Yeah,
It's awesome.
he's been more vocal. In fact, we like, ooh, research this for me. Like, check this. I heard this, that, and the other. Fact check that. You know what I'm saying? So we do a lot of research together. And then the baby, she is, you know, it's an interesting time because her whole thing is started with the pandemic. And so with the corona, because she's in a sensitive group, she has asthma and she has respiratory problems, it was like a big deal. You know, you
Okay.
need to have a mask. Like, we went through this
Right.
whole, you know, this whole thing. And then now that things have subsided, she sees more and more people not wearing masks. And she's, you know, so she questions that, like, why aren't we wearing masks? And, you know, so,
Mm-hmm.
you know, I have to explain to her and everything. So we just make it a rule when we go out with her, particularly. We wear our masks at the grocery store. We don't like wearing them when we go
Mm-hmm.
on walks because it's just too restricting. You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
you know,
Right.
yeah, we've had to figure that all out. As far as like what's going on with the race stuff and the protests and the riots, like, she was actually at her dad's when we had the first from the riots,
Mm-hmm.
and they were going downtown, and they could hear everything. Like, she could hear the tear gas canisters. They could hear everything. And it was probably like 3 in the morning. She calls me and Luna up. Like we all
Now
FaceTime.
Pops lives in the same area y'all used to live in back in the day, right?
Right. He lives right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So 26 and G. And then
Yeah.
me and Luna live off of Alhambra and Broadway. So we're like, what, 2.5 miles apart. And we could hear everything going on, right? So, I mean, we could literally hear everything going on. You could hear the helicopters and you just hear the boom, boom, boom in the distance and stuff. So I mean, it broke my heart. Like, normally I would be like, okay, I'm getting in the car and I'm going to go get you and bring you back over here because I feel like it's safer and Mama Bear is jumping in. But yeah, I was like, you know, this is something she has to experience. And I'm glad she's with her dad and, you know, hopefully he can explain to her what's going on. But I guess at one point they all, because where Pete lives, he lives downstairs in the apartment Jesse used to live in. And so
at that's what I'm saying, the old spot, I know.
Yeah, in the old spot. So at one point, they ended up going upstairs to Grandma and Grandpa's, and they were all hanging out in the living room just waiting for everything to subside. But yeah, it got crazy. It was lit for like 2 days. It was crazy.
I was paying attention online. I was seeing a lot of stuff going on. It was definitely going down there, man.
Like, yeah, it was insane. And I mean, I'm glad things have calmed down, but I feel like it's just the calm before the storm. I think there's going to be some more.
I think it's gonna be more both ways, whether it's just the COVID and, you know, what we're dealing with now, and then you got this election and the voting coming up, and it's just about to be a whole bunch of shit. I think the rest, like, I hate to say it, but it's gonna be a whole bunch of shit, and we just got to get prepared for it.
Yes, I agree. So be prepared. Whole bunch of shit. You know, love on you.
I feel like the rest of the world looks at us like a reality show. That's what I think. I think they watch the news like, what's America going to do today? What's happening in America now? Oh, they're killing people. Damn, that's fucked up. Oh, the president said some dumb shit. What's happening now? Oh, they're not wearing masks. Oh, they're dumb. Like they just watch us and probably laugh because we're fucking idiots. It's not everybody's fault. It's our leadership. Our leadership is idiots. That's just what it is.
Unfortunately. You know, I watch a lot. I'm kind of like tapped into some, like I listen to a lot of podcasts from over, like folks from Europe and stuff, and things on YouTube, and they are down for the cause. Like you don't realize how much fascism affects the entire world. Like we don't realize, Americans don't realize how much fascism affects the entire world. So that's all I have to say about that. Like we will not, this is not just our fight. This is going to turn into a global thing because with the pandemic,
it already is.
Exactly.
Support from all around the world. Like
exactly.
It isn't just us. Like everybody's tired of this shit. It's not just us.
It's not just us. You're right. And so I mean, that's a lot of people going against 1%. That's all. You know, I really believe. I mean, that's a lot of people going against the 1%. It's like, what? You can't jail us all. You can't put us all in jail. You can't make us all get vaccines. You can't, you can't kill us all.
Yeah.
Like, what the? You're gonna nuke everybody? Like, come on, just to get your way? Like, and what is your way? What is the point of all this? That's what I get. $1 million
question.
That is the $1 million question. So let me know that answer because I'm stumped. So I just focusing on love. I say every day I just wish I could make love every day for like the rest of my life because that's all that matters. Just if I could live life like that, I would be good. I'd be rich. You know what I mean? Because then what do you have to worry about? You know, you can just So, but that's not reality. Reality is we have these laws, we have an election that's coming up with two lessers of two evils.
Once again, So it's like, here we go again, dude. Same thing that happened the last 4 years. Like, we didn't learn our lesson. We did the same thing again.
It just
fucking idiots. Same shit again.
No, because I was, like I said, I was going through this book and I was reading through like this journal that I had from like 2000 and was talking about what was his name? Kerry, and who was it? It was Kerry and
Bush.
And Bush were running. That's right.
Yeah.
And I remember, and in my notes, I'm like, oh, who do I pick? The lessers of two evils. And that was way back then. And it's the same.
Exactly.
Shite. It's the same shite.
It feels like every election is that way. Like every election that I voted in since I've been able to vote. First one I voted in was 2000, and that's what it's been every time. Yeah. Every time. Yeah.
So okay, so that brings us to this question. What do we do about it? If we know that we are voting against, and we know morally, we know that they are not the right candidates, that we morally know this. What do we do?
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Okay. Like, they got us unlocked.
I'm gonna tell you what I did in 2016. What I did in 2016 was I didn't vote for a president. I voted. I did all my voting, but I didn't vote for a president. And I feel that a bunch of people did that, and we got Donald Trump.
See,
and we got this.
So 2016 either.
So it sucks. So it sucks is like you look at 2020 and you're like, okay, well, fuck, dude. Now we got fucking Biden, and now we got this guy again. And it's like, I know Biden is a piece of shit. I know that. I know he is. But what's Trump? You know, so it's like, it just sucks. It really does. It bends me ways where it's like I don't want to vote for either of these dudes, but at the same time, I can't live with another 4 years of that guy in office, man. Like, look how bad we've fallen off in 4 years.
Yeah, I think it's time.
I remember when he got elected. When he got elected, I was like, shit's about to be fucked up. I was like, we're probably gonna go to war. I was saying all this shit, and yeah, okay, we haven't went to war with another country, but we're at war with ourselves right now. So,
and we're gonna be at war with ourselves for a minute, though. That's the thing. This is gonna be for a while. I just think I don't know what to say about this election. It's very scary. I think voting is important. I totally agree with you on that, because I do feel that the bozo was, voted in. And oh God, but can you imagine if Hillary was, oh God, oh my God. Anyways, that we didn't get her. But it's that's the part that's disenchanting about this whole thing, is that you still feel so chained about it, but I don't know. I just feel that if we keep pushing for the things that we're pushing for, then the change will come. Like, I think if we keep at this, if we go out there, we vote for the things that need to be voted for, like the foundation will start to crumble. Like, I believe that the way that the government is set up is on a structure. The police are there to protect the capitalism and whatever. Well, that's the first part that needs to crumble. And as soon as that part starts to crumble, then the layers start to fall. You know what I mean? So it's going to take time. And I think it's going to take time. And then whichever president is in there, that, we just going to have to be like hound dogs and just be all up in their ass the whole time. You know what I mean? And when you have when you know that you're hated by the majority of the people, like, man, what are you going to, you have to move. You're going to have to make some moves somehow. Something's going to have to give. Something's going to have to give. But I just really believe we just need to keep the vibration of love and positivity in this whole thing, like pushing forward, like the naysaying stuff and all that stuff. Like, that's not getting us anywhere. It's a waste of energy, so like, make your energy right. Let's like move forward. Let's make moves. What you're doing with your song, like it's brilliant. Like, the more that we can keep doing where we're being productive and creative and putting our creativity out there, but also in the background, it's doing something for the cause. Like that's where, you know, we have to grassroot it right now. We really do. And I think we can be super strong. Like we are going to be super strong. I think we will, as a people, as a whole, on a global level. Like, we can't keep thinking in the box. You know what I mean? We got to think outside of California, outside of the United States, and think about all the people around this world who are oppressed right now, who are going through the exact same shit that we're going through. You know what I mean? And then once they jump on board, because they're just as tied into the capitalism as we are. That's a lot of people, like I said, that, hey, if we just decide we ain't buying your shit no more, that's a lot of damage we can do just doing that, you know? So it's just all about how
quick Starbucks turned around when they said that bullshit.
They're fucking full of shit. I don't trust. I'm sorry. Because of who they're owned by. Like, for real, if anyone's listening, follow the money, follow the money, follow the money, follow the money. That's how you know who the major players are. Like our friend Mr. Gates right now making buku bucks off of us while we sit in the house. Did you know that? Yeah, he's making money.
I didn't know he was, but I know a lot of them are, but I didn't know he was.
A lot of them are, but my interest is in him right now because of the whole vaccine thing, you know.
He's pushing that vaccine, you're right, yeah.
And like, so when the pandemic first started, I did my research on him. I thought it was really interesting. He didn't have not a dime invested in any type of technology, not anything. The only thing like that would be connected to that, like his portfolio is super interesting. He has like 51% of his shares hooked up in Berkshire Hathaway, who's owned by Warren Buffett. And then like 49% of it or something is is like FedEx. So so when we stayed up at home and we needed something delivered, FedEx was delivering. UPS, believe he has like some global function. Oh, the one that really got me was Waste Management. He's got stocks in Waste Management. Why would he have stocks in Waste Management? Did you know Waste Management is a global, or is global? It's not just here in the States. It's global, all over the world. Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense then.
If you want to know about people, look at where they're investing their money. If you want to know where what they're up to, that's what you have to look at. And so when I looked at his portfolio, I was like, this motherfucker's making buku money off of us while we sit up in this motherfucking house. He's gonna
he's delivering shit and he's getting our trash taken away.
Yeah, trash and bodies. That's what I was looking at. Right? No, for real. And there's some other things I'll have to like really look again. I can't think of all of them, but yeah, there's some. He has a very interesting portfolio, very interesting. So that right off the bat, I was like, I don't trust him, and I don't trust him. So you know, there's that piece of the whole fucking shenanigans. You know what I mean? So yeah, follow the money. We have to pay attention. We got to look on both sides of the street. Always pay attention. You know?
Man.
Yeah.
Definitely. I mean, you've spoken no lies. You've only spoke the truth. So I mean, what else can it be?
But hey, the truth is gonna set us free, bro. It will set us free. Right? I mean, live with your highest integrity. Live to the highest of your integrity for, you know, everyone. That's just where we should all be. We need to be at the high ground so that we can see the truth. Right? I mean, it's hard to see the truth when you're filtered by all the bullshit, you know what I mean? Or when you're choosing to certain things but not see other things, you know? And it's like, now it's time. We got to wipe it all clean. Just clean the slate. Just get all that fucking debris out of here and fucking start over. That's where it's going to be. Like, we have to start over.
The perfect time. It's the perfect time. Why not? Why not now?
Exactly. Why not? Yay. I totally agree. Not now, but right now.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. So before we get off, because like I probably got about maybe like 5 more minutes. I know they hold these to an hour.
Okay.
But what's next for you? Like what's next for you in life creatively? Like,
okay,
besides what we know what we're talking about, obviously we're gonna be on that. But besides that.
Yeah. Obviously I'm on that. I'm all about that. Like really that's probably my biggest push right now. I feel that
Of course.
I feel it is my, like, you wonder, why am I here? Oh shit, I think this is my moment. You know what I'm saying? Like really, like this is everyone's moment. And we are all here for this moment. I want people to understand that if you're questioning why this is happening, it's happening because we're meant to be here for this moment. We're right where we're supposed to be. And we have to add our love and our talents and our creativity and our life force to make things move forward in a positive way, to make it in, to wipe that slate clean. So I think that's where my goal is right now, is just to kind of help open people up to that idea. And then another project I have going on is I have crystals. I've invested in some crystals. I meant to get my shop started like this week, but I started back at my real job, and you know how that, I'm trying not to let that interfere with things, but I hope to have it up and going um, by this Sunday. I have a few pieces I need to put together, but I'll be selling, I have like amethyst and crystal quartz and black tourmaline. Okay. Now, black tourmaline is really awesome for the 5G stuff that we're dealing with right now. It's really great to like, and I personally have tried it out, and it was the whole reason why I got the crystals was because of the 5G. I wanted to start selling it to help people like absorb the 5G energy. And basically, the black tourmaline, if you sit it by your Wi-Fi router, it will absorb all that negative energy and you won't feel any of the symptoms. Like, because when was it? It was probably like a week after the whole 5G was like, oh, the 5. And the whole house felt it. I had a headache. We all had stomach aches. We all felt like all weird in the head and stuff. And, and, yeah, and I was like, I'm ordering some black tourmaline. And so I ended up great too. I got a bunch of bulk and put it like so we got it as soon as the box came. We were all excited and stuff, and then I take it and I put it by the Wi-Fi router. And Luna was actually in the other. She was in her bedroom, and our Wi-Fi router's in our kitchen. And Luna's bedroom is like kind of off the kitchen. So I put it by the Wi-Fi router immediately, and she was like, "Oh my God, I felt that." And I'm like, "You felt a difference?" And she's like, "Yeah, I totally felt that. Like it just like it's hard to explain. It just cleared up the fogginess that was in the house like tremendously." Wow. So that's something that I'm going to be selling because I think I want my people to be healthy. Just in the tap onto that too, like since I've started working, I work remote for Sutter Health, as a matter of fact. And okay. 5 of my coworkers like called out in the middle of the day, like, and this is unusual because our team is pretty, like, we're solid, right? And now mind you, I have not worked, I had been on furlough for like 2 months. And so furloughed for 2 months, so I wasn't working at my computer or anything like that. But but we do have Wi-Fi, so that's when I was feeling the effects and stuff. And so then it's just been there the whole time. So today it was like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and my friend Michelle's like, "I'm gonna go home. I don't feel good." And I'm like, "What is going on?" Like, she's like the third person that went home like in the middle of the day. And yesterday it was like 2 people went home in the middle of the day. So and then it just dawned on me. I'm like, I wonder if it's their 5G, right? Because it makes you feel like you get headaches, like, and it's like a headache, like really sharpness, like right in here, like your temples behind your ears and stuff like that. Okay. And then it makes you just get like really like your stomach. I mean, if you're ultra sensitive, you'll feel it even more, right? So that's what I'm
Interesting.
equating it to. So I'm going to be selling black tourmaline to help out the 5G
I'm
problem.
gonna have to get some of that.
Yes. Yes. So I'll have some kits going, and I'll let you know. I'm not sure. This is a new venture for me. It's yeah, it's new. It's scary, and it's like birthing a baby, but you're not sure how it's going to go. But honestly, I'm not even doing it for me. It's something I've wanted to do for a really, really long time. I love crystals. I believe in their power of healing like tremendously. They've helped me through a numerous amount of ailments, but I think like my ego was really in the way of like getting me to where I wanted to go. You know what I mean? And it's like, how can I sell things that help people heal if I have a big ass ego? That's not going to work. So, it's just like I said, like everything happens like time. You're always right where you're supposed to be, right? So I feel
Right.
like this is the moment I'm right where I'm at. I've tamed the ego's tamed. I'm in a really good place just in my life in general, financially, physically, mentally. So yeah, I feel like I can really like put a lot more energy and time into this new venture. And it's going to help people, and that's what I want to do. I want to help people get there. Yes, black tourmaline. Yes, I want to help people get to where they need to go, because it's gonna take a lot, you know what I'm saying? Like just for my own personal self, I had to use crystals, it was meditation, it was a lot of exercise. I mean, I don't exercise all the time, I should do it more. um, but getting out in nature, I can't emphasize how much getting out in nature. And it's so like, why would they keep us
Definitely
inside
different.
all day long? You know what I'm saying? It's like
You can just
they're
go
really
sit outside for 20 minutes. Go sit outside. Just get that sun. Like
yeah,
that's good for
exactly.
you. You need that.
Take your off and put your feet on that dirty ass grass or ground self, and it will ground you like tremendously. Like just go touch a plant. Like just sit by under a tree will ground you. You know what I'm saying? Like there's so many different ways, you don't have to nerd out and go hiking and do all this stuff. Like there's things you can do within your own environment that can really bring the earth into it to you. And we have to get closer to the earth right now, because we've been too addicted to all this plastic stuff and all the non-earthy things that's kept us from connecting to our real true spiritual self. So that's where it's at right now. For me, it's just
Right.
about helping. I don't want to say I want to help awaken people, because people are awakening. Y'all waking up. Y'all waking up. If you ain't woke to seeing George Floyd get his neck suffocated, then I don't know what to tell you. Like you're just blind or evil. I don't know. And I don't like using that word all the time, but it's like if people just need to like get your fucking head out of your ass and wake the fuck up, and
Right.
join us to the good fight. Is the other thing too, the other caveat to all this is that if they oppress the elite as well, or I shouldn't say the elite, but those people who live like up in the hills, like all those people that are affected, like the Santa Rosa fires, the rolling blackouts. That's how they
Mm-hmm.
fuck with them. And I put that, I know that's fact. I thought about that when that shit was happening 2 years ago, when we had all those fires in Santa Rosa. Then there's some kind of flash fire up in Grass Valley. Um, the one of the campgrounds in Oroville, the campfire fire, that
Yeah.
shit was not
Yeah.
that bougie. That's how they fuck with people, that for real. And then there's another
That's,
thing called Agenda 21 too that everyone needs to be aware of, but that's another
I
go
don't
ahead.
mean to cut you off, but I'm getting a 25 seconds remaining because
Okay,
we went
okay,
a full hour.
about this always and forever.
I want to thank you for your time. I really appreciate it. It was so good to talk to you. So good to see you. I love you.
I
You
love
are family to me. Thank
Yes,
you. And we
you're
will be
welcome.
in touch soon. Definitely.
Definitely. Thank you, Jamar.
All right,
I love
sis.